Hey everybody! Hey everybody! Welcome, 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 panel. Thanks for everyone joining us and being on time. You guys are so. You guys would get like a star for being on time.
I was close. I was cutting it very close.
You were kind of close, but you come running in the classroom right there at the last minute. So
Yeah, I literally just got in the door, had enough time to pour myself a glass of wine, and here I am.
I was the first one here for a change.
Yeah, priorities. She had priorities. So thanks for everyone who joined in the show, the panel, and I want to thank everyone on the side chat over here. I'm looking over here. Let me roll back up. People, Roger is on the side chat. Redneck's over there in the side chat. Eddie, as always. Cam, always. Thank you guys for watching and joining. Da Beach, thank you for joining in there. Was it Saul? Sahal? How do I say that?
I have no idea.
Soheil.
Huh?
Soheil Farshad?
Soheil? Okay, Soheil. I'm terrible with names. Octavia?
That's an I there.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, Wakanda forever.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, we're ready.
I timed that badly.
So is it time that badly? Yeah, we should get a little better there. So hopefully everyone on the panel is doing well today.
Yep.
Everybody do their homework?
Yep.
All right, good job.
Did
good
it
job.
early.
Okay, so I guess I need to send a link to Roger and I've got to send it to Eddie because both of them, we picked their movies.
Steady Eddie.
So since their movies were picked as the movies this week, I do have to add them in here. Hold on, let me see if I can find them too, and then we will open up the panel for the other people to join in. There's Eddie. There you go. Oh, wait, hold on a second, Eddie. I got the wrong link there. I should have had them already in here, but my mistake. Sorry. So there you go, Eddie and Roger. Let's see here. Roger. Beady.
Roger.
Roger.
What's up, Doug? What's up, Buck? Roger, there is the link for you, bud. So you two can jump on in here, and we will get started. And the panel, who should we start with? Which movie do you guys think?
Doesn't matter. Maybe they can pick or choose.
Let them choose.
Okay. While we're waiting, we can show Auburn's shirt because Auburn's shirt is too small for him to be able to show it. So I'm going to share my screen here, and this is the front of it.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right, that's the front.
What's his first name? Dick.
No.
Wrong one. That's not my shirt. We don't need to see your porn.
No, that was actually AA. He was given blood.
Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
This is the backside. I'm not sure if everyone can read that.
Yeah. It's gonna be on Telegram, also, everyone. So
it is often referred to as a girl's best friend. Yeah. I can't read that. Oh. Diamonds.
It's the only dirty part of our show. Hey, Auburn's shirt.
Johnson. 50-50.
50. Could I have a 50-50 on this one? Yeah, leave it to Auburn.
I've got my glasses sitting right here and I'm like this.
Eddie said he didn't get the link.
I heard him.
Todd.
Yeah, hold on. I heard. I sent him on Telegram, y'all. Look on Telegram.
Yeah, that did, Roger.
Yeah, they're right on Telegram. Maybe you guys aren't used to checking Telegram.
Hey, Claire, how you doing? Miss you too.
Claire, what's up? Grunt Streams.
Where's Claire?
Shrinking Sharon.
Inside there. In chat.
Oh, I don't see the comment.
Yeah. It's got a heart there.
The Claire Avalon show?
Yeah.
Huh.
Put your glasses on.
The classic ARB.
Put your glasses on.
I like that though. The classic ARB close up.
It's you know what's weird is I don't see it either.
Oh my God! Well, you have your glasses on. Take
You
them
don't see
off.
Claire's comment?
No.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, she
I
said,
see
"Hey,
Grunt.
everyone, missed you all with a heart."
I see.
blocked her, Claire.
No, I see Grunt.
Oh, there it is. Oh no.
It's after Eddie
watching.
G and Roger saying they didn't get the link.
I see that one.
There it is. All right, now I see it. I'm watching. All right,
Watching
so
on my
now I see
breakout
it.
way.
Yeah,
Hi.
I saw that. You guys, I don't know. Let's see there, and I'm gonna go back to Eddie. Paste it in there. I've sent it both to you guys on Telegram.
Hey Andrew, you want to throw the thing in there for the movies?
The polls that's already in there.
Oh, the polls are already up?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's very efficient.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure why they don't see it. All right.
I see it in the YouTuber.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I will just post it. I'll just post it in here, and then, if other people join, they'll just have to wait in the back room. Okay. So maybe this will make it easier for you because I'm seeing it on Telegram. We're so efficient here.
I can forward it to Eddie.
Roger,
We've never had any problem getting them on the show in the past, but somehow on the day that we actually need them to be on the show.
Yeah, Roger says he's having trouble getting to YouTube.
I
you don't get. All right. Oh,
it's StreamYard.
I heard somebody. Roger made it. Hello. Hey, Troop, Rick, how you doing, bud?
I sent it to Eddie.
Okay.
On
I also. Okay.
I think I'm in.
All right. Here's Eddie.
Yeah,
Eddie's made it. Eddie's made it. Eddie's in.
All right. There goes Eddie.
Is to it. What's up?
Sorry, I don't have Telegram on my computer, only on my phone.
Oh.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, thank you guys
so
for.
You know, with Telegram, you can. There's the app. There's an app on the computer.
Yeah, I just use it as a browser.
Oh.
So,
I use the app.
Which one of you two would like to be first?
I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. I can go first.
Okay, Roger said he'll go first. You okay with that, Eddie?
Yeah, which one we taking? We're taking the package or we're taking the Aviator?
We're just asking you.
Okay,
We're
let
asking.
Roger go. Let Roger go.
Okay.
Okay,
Roger's
so Roger, he was the package, right?
Roger, are you going first or last?
I'll go first. I'll get this out of the way.
Okay.
You were the package, right?
I picked the package. I'm the guy that didn't want to show the trailer. So if you could, Todd, could you pull up the trailer? Could we play it now, just so I can show you why we didn't want to do that?
All right, hold on a second. I gotta.
They're gonna see why.
I picked this movie because I thought that probably most of the panel and people that are watching had never seen it or ever heard of it before, and I did think it was amusing.
Yeah,
I'd never heard of it.
No,
I had never heard of it. This was new to me. So let me grab that.
I didn't realize it had a dual meaning.
It did have a dual meaning.
Okay,
Everybody
all right, so you guys, everyone mute yourselves.
So military ID. Jack Jessup reporting for booze.
You don't look like this guy. This guy looks like a soldier.
Hoorah! I'm really excited to go camping with you guys.
Why are there so many bags?
Stop going through my shit.
Sarah?
Wait, did you not tell them that we were coming?
I'm telling them now, like they're learning of it right now.
Jeremy said we're going like 6 miles into the woods.
Got you something, dude.
The Fun King condom?
This might be your chance to be with Becky.
She's always had a thing for you. I'm slow playing it, okay?
You are no playing it.
Guys, it's spring break, and I'm ready to rage. Let the games begin.
Drink
up, bitch!
Oh! Why?
Oh! If you want, we can hike down.
No, I'm not gonna take the long way down. I'm gonna take the Sean way down.
Oh, shit! Oh my god!
It honestly didn't hurt that much. It's actually really fun.
Ooh.
Oh.
This knife is so sharp.
What the fuck is he doing? Did you just... Oh, no. 911, I have a medical emergency. I need a medevac pronto.
Oh my God, he didn't see us. This will get their attention.
Whose idea was it to set off the fireball? It was all me, dude. You're a fucking idiot.
That was insane.
Wow. The Fun King? You wanted to use it at the hospital?
Something big, I feel it happening. Pushing, running, and it's grabbing. Feel it in my bones like, oh.
It was just supposed to be camping.
Sean, let's go.
Yeah.
What's your problem?
Sean, do you have a boner?
What? I don't have a bony.
Did you just fart?
No, it's a seat.
Oh my God, do you have the farts and a boner?
I don't have the farts or a boner.
One of those is definitely a lie.
You're being cockblocked, literally by your own cock.
Okay.
All right.
And I can see why you wouldn't want to show that as a trailer.
Yeah, I think it steps on like a half a dozen of the funny jokes, and it spoils the whole premise of it. You know, how often there's been no other teen coming of age comedies ever that dealt with cutting off somebody's dick ever. You know, so I find that humorous, and I think the trailer ruins it.
I agree.
So I hope you all got at least one out loud laugh.
Oh, that's why I wore this shirt this week.
Oh, I didn't even see the shirt. I didn't see the shirt, Alvin. Sorry, missed it.
It's on Telegram for you.
Okay, I'll look at it.
So you can zoom in on it.
As far as breaking into in depth what these characters are feeling in this movie, I don't think that this is that kind of a movie.
Agree.
Seriously, I picked it just because I laughed at it when I laughed out loud several times when I watched it for the first time, and I recommended it to a couple other people, and they laughed out loud when they watched it. So I hoped that you guys would all have a laugh out loud moment during it. So, and that's really the only reason I picked this movie, and that's about that. I think I'm done with my part of it.
Okay, you done with it? Let me. Okay, I'm gonna. I'm also. I forgot. I need to just share the screen here for a second.
And don't forget the spoiler.
Andrew.
Andrew, what am I doing wrong over here, bud?
No, he's pointing to me because I'm waving my hand saying I'll go.
She's doing the impression of me when you proposed to her.
Okay. You know what? I when I popped this up, I grabbed it on my Plex and I popped it up and I saw the 5.5 rating and I'm like, oh lordy, I have no idea how this only got 5.5. I laughed the whole thing. All their lines were brilliant. The kids, the actors were great. Like I liked every single one of them, and I laughed hard a lot. Like, well, I can't even name all the times I laughed hard. I really laughed hard when he was sucking the venom out of it, and then they come busting in the place, and he's got it hanging out of his mouth. Turn away! It was like there's just so many funny parts too. When the guy cleans the guy cleans the dick off because he thinks it's a veteran's dick, and meanwhile he's like, you just made me clean a civilian's dick. Like there was just, oh my God, I laughed a lot. I laughed every single scene. Like the kid there when he was like, they're like, I'll give you the keys to the boat if you show me something. They're like, we're not showing our tits. And he goes, God, your tits. I've seen like 10,000 pairs of tits. You want to see a scissor? I'm like, oh my God, this friggin' movie. And the kid when he backflopped instead of the belly flop there. Oh my God, there was just, and he screams like a girl every time somebody touches him, and there's so much to this. Every time you think that everything is going to be okay, it's just not. But you kind of expect it, but they still kind of twist you a little bit, like sewing his dick on some other guy's body, like and then the girlfriend rips it off again. It was, oh my God,
She cut it off. She had some scissors.
I laughed like a lot in this. Like there's no way that's a 5.5. Whoever watched it that voted 5.5, Okay, no offense to the panel if you didn't like it, but that was a funny movie. So that's me. I loved it.
Thanks, Blue. That makes me happy. Yeah, my mission is accomplished this week. Thank you.
That kid was freaking hilarious too. Like when she's that was another one of my favorite parts when the nurse puts the flour in the jar and it starts wilting and then she's like, okay, it's time to go, time's up, and he looks at the flour and it's quite a few petals on it. He goes, it's not time yet, look, and she goes, what, do you think your dick is like magically connected to the flour? It's not. Yeah. Sorry, where you had your hand up there?
Yeah, I guess
I
he
just
wants
wanted
to go next.
Okay,
I'll
Andrew.
go after you.
Go.
I stuck. By the way, I watched this on Netflix legally. When I put this on, like, well, obviously I was worried like you because I seen the 5.5 and I thought, oh god. And then I looked at it and like before I pressed play and I thought, I don't recognize anybody in this, and it looks like one of those ones that might be a bit faculty-ish. And like the first, like, I'd say about the first 10 minutes, you know, when they're leading up, they're introducing the characters, and then they're leading up to where they go to set their campsite. I was thinking, right, where the fuck is this going? Like, what's going to happen? And then obviously the kid with the long hair, who I found annoying at first, to be honest with you, and then he went to go to the toilet, and he's playing with a knife, and he's like, because he's pissed, and he's doing all this stupid stuff with a knife, and then he ends up and when he actually cuts his dick off and that dick goes flying in the air and then it shows a close-up of it, I was like, holy fuck, that looks real. I was amazed at how real they made it look. The first moment, like the first like line in this that made me piss myself was when he's getting lifted up in the thing and he thumbs up and he goes, oh look, he's doing the reverse Terminator. He's like, he's got the thumbs up and he's going upwards. That just made us chuckle. It was so many cheesy laughs, but it was just like Sean said, it was just funny all the way through. There's just so many stupid things. The sucking the dick thing, and when they see that little kid and they're trying to get the board keys off him, and they go to him, dicks get cut and dicks get sucked. His dad comes back and he's just sitting there going, dicks get cut and dicks get sucked, and his dad's like, what the fuck? The stuff, and when the lad it showed in the trailer there, when that the main character, I forgot his name, he trips over into the water, and he's like, when you see a man, you think, oh god, that would definitely hurt because he's landed on his back, and then he gets out and he takes his top off and his back's for a red raw. It was just I don't know. I didn't realize I was going to laugh at just some stupid, like some absolutely stupid
American film.
No, just the fact that the jokes were just like so stupid and like silly little teenage jokes, and it just made us laugh all the way through. And like I winced when that girl comes in with the scissors to cut off the dick again. I was like, oh my god, I could just imagine it happening. Oh, it made us cross my legs a little bit.
For me, one of the grossest parts for sure was when they first find it in the woods, when they go looking for it, and there's it's in the dirt, a centipede crawls over, and then she vomits on it.
Yeah. Oh, she was sick all over. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I was just saying to them, Sean, when he disappeared, the first funny bit I found was when he's doing the reverse Terminator. He's like, look, he's doing the reverse Terminator.
And they're playing the music too.
Yeah. But that other bit in I think the trailer does give away all the best jokes, doesn't it?
Mm. I don't know. I laughed a lot more than that.
I laughed pretty hard as well at that bit what I showed before, and he was like, "Who set off the explosion?" And he's like, "That's me." And he's like, "You're a fucking idiot."
Yeah.
we saw you as we were just circling back round.
Yeah, because he put that gas container in there and
the
fire.
Idiot.
And they're all like, "Oh, nothing's gonna go off." And then all of a sudden
I liked this movie right from the very beginning when the redheaded kid goes to pick him up and he ends up going into their Wi-Fi and putting porn on the big fat on the TV. And then when he does it again at the very end, it's even better. And he's like, "Yeah, Mr. So-and-so, you need to fix your Wi-Fi." And the guy's like, "I don't know how."
Yeah, the little boy sitting in there, and that porn was.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
he's a big one.
Big
Yeah.
boob.
Oh,
All right, I don't want to get like I don't want obviously I don't want to like jump on all of the jokes and like spoil everybody else's review, but yeah, there's some of the stuff what I just mentioned was what I found the funniest. So yeah, I'll let somebody else go because
The Terminator, that was freaking funny though.
the reverse Terminator, that was the first bit I laughed at really hard. I was like, oh, that's brilliant.
I'll go first. Were you done?
Yep.
I'm done.
Okay. I think the first thing that got me is when towards the beginning of the movie when he said to him, "You look like you drank Ed Sheeran's pubes."
Oh
You know,
yeah.
I absolutely lost it, and I said, "Oh, I know, I'm done this whole movie." I just want to thank you, Roger, because I'm telling you, I peed my pants.
I'm
It was
glad you liked
hilarious.
it. I'm glad you liked it.
There's a lot of good pop culture references I found.
Yeah. Oh, oops! I did it again.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
See this penis, you know. How can you come up with a better line than "see this penis"? You know.
The dramatic version of it when they're running through the hospital at the end.
Oh yeah. Or when he's cleaning the dick with the soda at the soda.
And then drinks from the soda machine. Oh, look.
Yeah. I actually know that dude. I've seen him.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah,
I've seen him, and let me. Where is he? Where else is
He's
he?
in Winona Earp. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that TV
Winona
series.
Earp? Okay.
Yeah.
God, I thought it was David Arquette at first.
He does look a little bit like
he does
that.
look like him.
It's like I've seen him. Van Helsing, the TV show. Well, I don't watch
The
the
movie.
lots of TV stuff.
Yeah,
Twilight
Winona
Zone,
Is he Canadian? Just out of curiosity, because they'll seem like almost Canadian made.
Altered Carbon.
He was he was a bad guy in Altered Carbon. This guy that tortures him.
Hitman never
Oh
dies.
gosh, he would be from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, he's
oh
Canadian.
lordy. You could spot them old Canadians, eh?
Right?
Okay, sorry,
See how
Alvin, go ahead.
See how
No,
I use that perfectly?
I think I'm about done because the movie was just plain fucking funny. And I like I said, Roger, thanks for cheering us all up with that one. I thought it was a great choice. I'm glad that actually Andrew was able to understand true English humor.
Yeah,
instead
I
of
understand. I do
love
understand
the
cheesy
Yeah.
humor.
You know what though? I find most comedies nowadays when they go dirty, they're just gross for me. It's somehow this was it was sharp, it was quirky, it was
right.
I don't know if it was all the pop culture references with it, but it worked better. It just wasn't about for dirty stuff.
It was a movie built around the book of dick jokes.
Right.
You see what it was.
Right.
So it's
Like
not
how
it's not dirty and gross sucking off of a severed penis.
That was just hilarious.
Severed penis. That's not gross, but
just the way they did it just worked. It just worked for me.
Yeah. I'd be worried if I were you, Todd, okay?
Oh, he doesn't mind me typing everything.
All right, Eddie. What do you think, bud?
Oh, this movie really got to me, man. First of all, I wanted to check out the trailer. I said, wait a minute, the package means something. No, I'm thinking either it's on the good side or on the bad side. But I was very tempted to go check the trailer. I said, no. So when the movie started up and they got everything back, packed up into the van and they're leaving, and all of a sudden they get to site and they're unpacking the van, and I see them, going up the hill. And there's this, I think it was a girl in the back. She was carrying 2 ice coolers. Exactly, the same ice cooler. I'm saying, wait a minute, the package, is this a package? Either one, either left one or right one could be the package. So until finally, when he's playing around with a knife and all of a sudden he cuts his dick off and says, okay, wow, now I got the real package.
Yeah.
And then after when they break into the little cottage on the top of the hill there, the lookout shelter, and they're farting around. I'm saying, wait a minute, there could be something, scary in here. And all of a sudden I see that rattlesnake, and the rattlesnake bites off the dick. I said, oh, fuck, no way. I said, what are they going to do now? Well, they said, okay, now they decided who's going to suck the dick. I'm thinking, if that would have been me, I said, your dick is going to die.
He did it, though, because he gave away the wrong cooler in the first place.
Yeah. And dropped all the phones.
And he was a nice dude.
Yeah, but what I didn't understand is because usually when, let's say somebody gets bitten by a snake, they usually make an incision, then suck out the venom.
No. Let's just clarify something here. You do not suck any of the
PSA right here.
You leave it alone. You go to a hospital.
I'm saying the old.
Yeah,
thinking.
but that's like bad advice.
Yeah,
bad advice. Drinking
before my dick will shrivel up and fall off, I'm gonna have someone suck it. Okay, one more time so I don't make it to the hospital in time. Okay.
Remember we had that one discussion about maybe when you're dehydrated, it's okay to drink your pee, and then we discovered no, it's not. Do not suck snake poison out. Make you sick.
Oh, I'm not gonna tell anyone there's poison in it. I'm just gonna tell them to suck it. Okay.
But when he got transplanted in a hospital, and the guy wakes up and he says, the doctor says, okay, your operation was successful. Okay, and the guy lifts up the covers and he looks down. He doesn't notice it's not his dick. Yeah. Says, okay, I got a new dick. So he goes, and then after when the girl comes in, she cuts it off again.
No.
Okay, that's all for me.
Yeah. Well, I knew that. I felt like that was going to happen when the doctor says, well, if it hasn't had any blood flow in it to keep it alive, it's going to be worthless. But if some blood flow got to it, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And then, because the guy didn't like it that it wasn't his dick, because he says, this ain't my dick. At first. All right. So I never knew someone cutting their dick off could be so funny.
Yeah.
I laughed. As a disclaimer, this is bathroom humor, and I don't mean bathroom because someone's going to the bathroom, but I mean you've got to be able to. If you're not into bathroom humor, you're not going to like it. You've got to like just that inappropriate, uncomfortable talk. You've got to like that. And this is chock full of uncomfortable moments. Cock blocking to a new level is another thing I wrote down here because he was trying to hook up with that guy's sister, and he's like, "You need to bang my sister because if you're hitting that, we have a connection. I'm gonna feel it. We're twins. I'm gonna kind of feel it." So I'm like, that's kind of weird.
If she's having sex, I'm having sex.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's just wrong. And he goes, "But you need to hit my sister. You need to bang it." And I was like. But he just wants it too much, so I'm thinking that's just weird. And one of the other quotes that he has, he says, all right, so the kid's in the hospital and he's laying in the bed and they're waiting for his friends to bring the dick, which took forever. He says, "I know my dick is strong. It can live in the wild for days." I was like, that's funny. That's funny. And the nurse, I swear to you, the nurse. She had that dry humor about her.
Yeah.
She was just so calm, and she's like, "Oh, we know that they're not coming." And you know what? She goes, "Do you smell that in here?" She goes, "That's not blue cheese in here. That's."
Yeah, they don't have blue cheese in the cafeteria.
Yeah. So
no one in here's got a dick.
Oh, so the nurse was so funny. I did think that some of the part it is kind of corny. Definitely one of those bathroom humor movies but I did laugh out loud numerous times that I was just like, this is funny. When he was swinging that knife around, I'm like, ooh, but he's drunk and he's look at that butterfly knife and he's swinging around, and then I was like, oh, that's just uncomfortable.
And you see it floating through the air.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When it goes and it's all slow motion, and I'm thinking the other thing I'm thinking is he must have had a big unit. He must have had a big unit because when it loses blood, it shrinks.
Hey, the entire movie that looked like a real dick. Like when the dude was using the
but it was too big. It was too big. It wouldn't be that big. Cut off.
Honey, honey, there's showers and there's growers. He was a grower, obviously.
Well, the guy in the hospital, when he looked down, he was like, "Oh my god, it's only going to get smaller when the swelling goes down." So he obviously didn't think it was big.
No, he didn't think it was that big. I actually, the one thing I did think about that, when you remember in the hospital scene at the very end when they're running in there and they're slow motioning and it took them forever, and then the janitor and that girl are fighting over the penis in the rubber glove. I swear I thought that was John Bobbitt because they zoomed in on his face real close, and I'm thinking that's got to be that's got to be a reason.
That's too bad they didn't cast him in that because that would have been fucking hilarious.
Yeah, if it would have been him in that.
My dick.
Yeah, they're like pulling at it, and it's like. So, yeah, definitely funny movie. I'd say that my kids, I'd probably need to suggest my kids to watch this. Both of my kids would love this.
They love it.
They would love it. I know Tyler would probably make this one of his favorites.
Another funny part too, like how you were talking about how the brother wanted his friend to screw his sister, was at the very end when he's in the wheelchair, which he doesn't need to be in because he can walk because he just had a kidney transplant. Was when he crawls out of the van while they're making like pulling himself, and people are like, "You can use your legs," but he pulls himself so he can watch. It was like,
yeah, he wants to watch his sister and his best friend making out.
Yeah. Oh, there was just a lot of funny parts in that. The writing was really good.
It was good. It was good. Real good movie.
You reminded me of another funny bit as well. Like when he cuts his dick off, and he's like, and they're like, "What's happened?" He's like, "I've cut my dick off," and then he looks and he goes, "I've cut my dick off," and it just pans out. He's like that with his hands in the air on the floor. Oh,
well, when it was a yellow stream, and then all of a sudden you see that red stream.
Yeah.
I was feeling comfortable. I kind of felt bad for the guy because that kid was getting ready him and that girl were getting ready to bang it out and smoke some herb. I kind of felt bad for him.
It was actually funny in the trailer because it said the Fun King, but in the movie it was the Fuck King was the name of the condom.
Yeah. So good. So I posted the link if anybody wants to jump in the chat. I'm sorry I didn't post that a couple minutes ago. If you guys watched the movie and you want to mention what you thought about the movie, and we've got somebody. We got Miss Shrink and Sharon up in the house. Mention what you thought about the movie, and we've got somebody. Right. Sharon, turn off YouTube. Turn off YouTube.
Huh? Okay.
Turn off YouTube. Yep, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead, babe. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
What do you think? I hear you. We got you loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
It was a pretty crazy movie. I mean, it was different than I thought it would be. I mean, it wasn't a package I expected it to be. The movie was crazy from the beginning. It put me in the mind of Pineapple Express type movie or Superbad type movie. That's what it put me in the mind of from the beginning. Like you said, when he went to pick his friend up, and then when they came there, and then they didn't want his sister and her friend to go on the trip, and they ended up going, and the one friend was mad because he didn't want them to come, but the one friend wanted them to come, and then when he got there, they got out there, and then that ended up happening, the incident where his private got cut off.
His private.
Yeah. So then that was crazy, they got out there, and that was crazy when they was all around him singing that Britney Spears song, and he set that fire, and they finally came and ended up giving them the wrong package. But I thought that they were going to leave immediately that night, when the ambulance left and stuff. They didn't discover till the next day that they gave them the wrong package.
Mm-hmm.
From that point on, it was crazy trying to all the stuff they went through trying to get out the woods, trying to get back to the just getting back to the van.
Mm-hmm.
All the times they dropped it and everything else. Like you said, when they first discovered it, she threw up on it and everything. That was the most crazy movie and stuff. But yeah, it has a lot of crazy movie moments in there and stuff. And then the nurse, like you said, she was she was just giving it to him, with all the dry humor and stuff. And then not to forget, remember on the way, because he wanted to get alcohol, he had that fake ID. So that's why they had a hard time getting it to him too, is because they were trying to go return it to him under his right name. But remember, he was registered in the hospital under a fake name, under that name on his ID.
Yep.
And, yeah, he was registered in the hospital under a fake name. So the whole movie, I mean, like I said, it was crazy when they finally, like you said, when the snake, which I couldn't tell, it didn't look like the snake had bit him, but that bit it. But I guess it did. That's why he had to get the venom out and stuff. And like you said, they walked in on him. That was crazy. And then, like I said, the whole movie was just all over the place. The psycho girlfriend, not to mention the psycho girlfriend when they went to the wrong hospital. And
But he loved her though.
Yeah, he loved her. He loved her.
her.
Yeah, he loved that psycho girlfriend. She was crazy. That was a whole new character in itself. So the whole movie was crazy.
Good time.
Yeah.
All right. Penn, you there? What'd you think?
Yes, sir.
What'd you think?
The movie was it was very hilarious. It had like these wild scenes. The two scenes that stood out to me was when the guy had to suck out, the venom, and he put the shades down, and then everything, before that, nobody was like, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then he just volunteered. I was like, whoa, okay, y'all. Hey, he's about to take one for the team. Hey, for real. So I was like, all right. And then, the crazy girlfriend scene, they was in the hospital. And then, he was like, yeah, she just cut it off and flushed it down the toilet like some poop. And I was like, jeez. So, it was just scenes like that. And, like, the movie was hilarious, throughout. Even the hospital scenes where they was doing like those quick cuts, and they had like these football moves. I did one guy did a stiff arm, and it was like pretty action and cinematic. It had a little bit of everything, but as far as like character building, or whether you care deeply for the characters, it wasn't that type of movie. It was just a fun watch, and I thought it was funny overall.
Yeah.
Actually, and when you were talking about that too, like about the whole, biting or sucking the venom out of the penis. The best part, I think, was when the doctor says, "Yeah, there was no venom in that penis." Now to find out after all that time, he didn't need to suck it.
He threw some shade at him and be like, "Yeah, you sucked it for no reason," something like that.
But he's gonna have 3 streams every time he takes a piss.
All right, Cam.
Cam, what you think?
Long time no see. A, B. This one is a really good. Like, kind of, it's wild, but it's a really good. You kind of need those movies that are like stupid funny, and like this one hit that one right on the nail on the head. Like it was really stupid funny. Or even sometimes my sister and I, even though, because boys usually like that stupid funny, so we'll usually call it boy funny.
Boy funny.
But yeah, it was really wild and funny movie. And like Todd said, it's bathroom humor. If you don't like bathroom humor, then this isn't the movie for you. But if you like stupid funny movies, then this one's for you. Which honestly to me is very surprising, because Netflix, kind of could either with comedies, Netflix could either hit it or miss it. And but me personally, they definitely hit this one.
Perfect.
All right.
All around.
All right, so people in the side chat, we've got people in. So player pass on the side chat, and then we'll run through our people. We'll start with Cam down here on the bottom right. Cam, player pass.
Play.
Penn, what do you think? Player pass.
Play.
All right. Shrink and Sharon, what you think? Player pass.
Oh, you did, hun.
You muted.
I think she said play. I think I saw play. Play.
Play.
Even though I think she was a little uncomfortable with the movie. All right, Andrew.
Right.
Andrew. Player pass. Play. with the little emoji thing. Okay. With an eggplant. Is that an eggplant?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Roger. Player pass. Which
Play. I've played this movie 5 times since I discovered it, so it's a play for me.
Okay. So play for you, Eddie. Player pass.
A super play.
All right, got a play from Mr. Eddie. Or what about you, Alban?
A play for me for sure.
Play, Blue.
I'm a double play on this one. I laughed a lot. It was fun.
Okay, so then, and a play for me. Again, as Cam and I both say, if you like bathroom humor, this movie is all over that kind of stuff. So if you're a person that tends to be a little bit more serious and tight brow about your humor, you may not find this funny. But if you're a Porky's or Animal House, or I think of those kind of movies, this is it, where you turn your brain off. And I think of Step Brothers when we talked about Step Brothers. It's not serious. It's you got to just be I don't care, and it's funny because it's just awkward. Those are the kind of funny movies, and this is funny. So watch it. The Beach is the only one. He says play-ish. Too hard to be funny. Tried too hard to be funny. Tried too hard. I don't know. I thought they hit a lot of jokes. They hit a lot of jokes, and I thought they did a good job on it. So the panel's pretty much everybody that I'll give it. Play was on everybody. I didn't see any passes. So great movie, Roger. Way to go on your first entry.
Yeah.
Come on, Roger.
You just put the pressure on Eddie. You put the pressure on Eddie.
Well, and I did.
Got it, Joe.
One thing I did forget to say. My movie was only 92 minutes, unlike some people's others movies.
Look at it! Look at it! He's done throwing shade, but this is like me and Andrew fighting. Look out of here! Okay, all right, Cam, Penn, and Sharon. I'm gonna throw you guys in the side chat while we go through the next movie. Then I'll pull you guys back in if you guys are still around. All right?
Okay.
All right.
So let me throw it in there, and bam, bam. So you guys are in the backstage. So pull them to the backstage again. If you guys have watched the next movie, which is The Aviator, maybe you've seen it all day long. Up, Redneck's a little bit slow on this. Redneck, pick it up a little bit, bud. Play all day long. So all day, play all day. So the next movie we have is The Aviator. So let me grab this. Eddie, you picked this movie, so you're able to be first or last, whichever one you would like to be on it.
I like to be last because I still got some memorabilia about this.
Oh, okay. All right, so you can be last. Does anybody request to be first? Okay, did I see?
I'm going to eat dinner, so I'm going to go a little later, if that's okay.
Oh, okay, then I'll go.
All right, you can go first. Mr. Alban, what you think, bud?
I liked it. I didn't watch it, when it came out or anything. It was like one of those. Oh well, it's it's the little kid, and I didn't want to watch it. I'm glad I watched it now. There were some things in there that I'm just trying to look at my notes here. That I really liked. Katharine Hepburn, classic. She really cracked me up. Especially when they ended up having dinner at her house. I wish they would have showed a little bit more about his parents. That's the only thing I wish I knew more about. I'm just trying to read my notes. Early on in the movie, I was annoyed because he seemed like such a child. If you guys know what I mean, because being worth so much money and just not thinking that everyone had to do everything his way. Um, Ava Gardner. Didn't Ava Gardner have green eyes or blue? Because I know when he got that pendant for her or whatever, he said I think the pendant was blue and she had green, or she had green and the pendant was blue. Anyone know?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And I think the thing that annoyed me in the movie is, okay, I can understand you wanting to test everything out, but you fly that plane and you have that horrific accident, and all they show him as is just okay, he has to walk with a cane, and he's burned up all on his body, but there's nothing wrong with his face. His face looks pretty much fine. And I wish that they would have said, you know what, okay, let's really screw this guy's face up for the rest of the movie so people can understand what he's been through. And I think that was one of the things that just really pissed me off about the movie. But
it was based on a true story, so maybe he really truly
right.
didn't.
I never looked at a picture of him, after this accident and seeing it from before and after.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I never went back to go look and see, because I figured, it already took up 3 hours of my life. But I thought it was a good story. I think I'd go back and watched something else about him, and see if I'm saying, oh, it's because of DiCaprio why I feel the way. And don't get me wrong, I like DiCaprio's acting, but he just really seems so young in it, meaning how he was. Well, I guess he's playing a part, but he just seemed like this is such a young guy. I can't see how he got away with what he did. I don't know. I know money talks, but that's it for me. That's all my notes.
All right.
I'll
Andrew.
go next if you guys. Oh, Andrew. I'll go
Andrew
after.
raised his hand. All right.
You can go. You can go.
No, go
I
ahead.
thought you were still eating. It's fine.
I ate really fast.
Yeah, that's not my fault.
Go ahead, Andrew. I'll go next.
All right. Well, just before I go, the whole thing that Aubrey mentioned about his face, that was a bit weird and a bit annoying as well, because like you saw when he was in the hospital bed, he had stitches all the way down his face, like to his lips. So I thought, oh, he's gonna have a big scar, and then the next scene he's just got a mustache, but he doesn't have no scar or anything on his. I was like, surely that's a scar. So yeah, that was a bit like there was a bit inconsistent with that. Was this not going off a book? I thought it was going off a book, not like, is it off real events? I don't know.
Well, I mean, a book based on real events. He was a real guy, and he dated Catherine Hepburn and Ava Gardner. And
yeah,
I mean, Howard Hughes, Hugh Hefner was a real guy.
It's
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes, Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner.
Wait, wrong movie. Wrong movie. Hold on. I watched the whole wrong movie. Wait a minute.
I thought it was like, yeah, I knew it was going off a. Like, I didn't know how much of it was true, because it said when I looked it up that it was going off the book.
Oh.
So, which is probably an autobiography or a biography, if I was guessing.
Yeah. Yeah, so the whole thing with his character at the beginning, where he's like seems like a bit of a petulant child. At first I did think, oh god, I don't like this guy. They're setting us up to not like him. But then as it went on, and you realised he had like mental problems and stuff like that, and like he obviously had OCD and all that, like germophobic and stuff like that, and you realise, oh, it's just he just wants everything to be perfect. And spending $4 million on that movie, though, for God's sake, that's like.
I actually looked that up. They spent $2.5 million on the movie, and they made back 2.3. So we went under, but at the time, that was the highest grossing movie of all time.
That's crazy. That's absolutely
That's
crazy.
$200,000.
So I haven't got a lot to say on it because it's hard to remember a lot stuff that happened in a 3-hour movie, Eddie. Like it felt like 3 days. Like I thought my Leonardo DiCaprio movie was long, but Jesus Christ, this was like fucking, it took forever.
Well, Lawrence of Arabia was even longer than that.
That's good that you didn't pick that one. So, are you done,
it's a good
Andrew?
job I had 5 days off work. No, I was still. I'm not doing it. Like, I can be done if you want us to be.
No, you're 5 days off of work. That's funny.
Oh yeah, the 5 days off of work. Yeah, like, I'm glad I've spent 2 days of it watching this movie. But I thought I like Baldwin. I like anything he's in. I think he's a great actor.
Yeah.
I wasn't too keen on Kate Blanchett.
No.
I didn't really like her in this movie. She was annoying as fuck. Kate Beckinsale was Kate Beckinsale. She's pretty solid. Leonardo DiCaprio, I know, like, Shani don't like have a. He's not like kind of your thing, but I just think he's a really good actor. I thought he was good in this. He was good in the movie I picked, and he's good in some other movies that I've actually got. I'm sorry, I've got a couple of his movies on my list. So, yeah, I thought he did well in this. I thought he did really well in this. He played the character spot on, from what they wanted, and I think the story, it would have been. Here's the thing with this. It was kind of like, at times it was kind of like all over the place, and I was a bit confused. I think it would have been really, really good told story, and it would have went well with like the cinematics and all of the effects with like the planes and stuff if it was a bit shorter. But the fact that it was like nearly 3 hours long, like I got halfway through it and then I started to lose a bit of interest, and then near the end, like when it got to the court scene, I was really invested. Then I was like, oh, I like this part of the movie. This part of the movie is really good. But I was like, there's filler in between it was just like boring. Basically, it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I was like, yeah, this is pretty good. This is going somewhere, and then other times I was like, all right, no, it's just leading you down another pointless alleyway, and then you get back to the crux of the story again, and I was just kept thinking to myself, if this was like maybe 2 hours long or something, it'd be really good. But I think they just try to fucking put everything from the book into this movie. So
Yeah, this was Scorsese, eh?
Yeah, so Scorsese, yeah. So yeah, that was my take on it. It was interesting.
Okay. Can I go next?
Yep, go.
Eddie, I'm really sorry. I did not like this movie. This is actually the first time I've ever seen it. I couldn't believe the cast. The cast is crazy good. So many good actors in it. You know, you got Leo. People. I don't dislike Leo. I don't dislike his acting. I just, as a leading man, he kind of grosses me out because he always looks like he's 12. So that's all it is for me. Acting wise, no, the kid's great. Kate Blanchett, you know, she's normally always good. Yeah, Kate Beckinsale. You had John C. Reilly. You had friggin' Jude Law. You had
really,
Alec Baldwin. You had Gwen Stefani with Jean Harlow.
I didn't realize that was her.
I told you that while we were watching it.
Yeah, but I wasn't listening.
Yeah, of course, because you were looking at Jean Harlow.
I was thinking, moo.
The thing is, I found a lot of Leo was good. Alec Baldwin was good, but I found Kate Blanchett was like over the top. And the funny thing is, she won an Academy Award for this, but for me, she was too much. It was like, it felt like overacting. Most of the people for me felt like overacting, and I had a hard time settling in because it felt like they were trying to portray Hollywood like it was back in the day, you know, with the starlets and whatever. But you would think in their personal lives they would be a little more subdued, a little more. But it was like they were still constantly acting while they were just being normal people. So I had a hard time with it. One of the things that I did like about it is I didn't realize that Howard Hughes was a movie maker. I did not know that. I just thought of him as a germaphobe and a plane guy. Like that's the only things I knew about him. I was wrong in my numbers here. Hell's Angels cost 2.8 million to make, and it made 2.5. It was a loss, but it was still the highest grossing film of its era, apparently.
A ticket back then was what, 50 cents. So
yeah, exactly.
Less than that.
And there wasn't
Gotta
DVD
be
rentals, and there wasn't, like rented on Netflix or rented on iTunes. I didn't even realize that Katharine Hepburn dated Howard Hughes. I had no idea about that, so I thought that was kind of neat. I didn't realize he was deaf either. I knew nothing about that. I thought that was kind of neat, just the way he was always straining to hear people at first. What I found really weird was when I was watching, and I don't know if you guys noticed it, but when they were golfing, him and Katharine Hepburn for the first time, the grass was blue. And then when he was having dinner out with her, the peas on his plate were blue.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when Jude Law leaned in and grabbed one, and then he couldn't eat the rest of his meal. So I was like, is he colorblind? Of course I had to go look it up. No, he wasn't colorblind. That was a Scorsese thing. I guess he used more prominent colors in different aspects of the film. Like when he was with Katharine Hepburn, I guess there was a lot of blue. And when he was doing this, there was a lot of orange. Because I was like, why is the grass blue? And then I'm like, why are the peas blue? I thought that was weird. One part I did like that I thought was cute is when he took Katharine Hepburn up in the plane, and being a germaphobe like he is, and he offers her his milk, and she takes a drink, and then he takes a drink after her. I thought that was kind of brave of him because he is a germaphobe. I would do that. Yeah, I like the aviation stuff a lot. All the new planes and everything, and all the shit that they went through to get these planes built or not get them built and everything. One of the things that creeped me out though is when he started dating that 15-year-old. When I got to that point, I was like, okay, that's creeping me out a lot now. So that didn't ruin the movie for me by any means. For me, the movie was ruined by, like I said, I felt like it was overacted, and it was, I can do long movies. I mean, shit, Lord of the Rings. I watch all the extended versions of those all the time. I have no problem with a long movie, but it's got to be a long movie that's, like Andrew said, I agree with Andrew. It felt like it was filled with some filler. Like Hell's Angels scenes, that was what? It felt like an hour of the movie was just talking, like making that movie. Like it was so long. So I did not like it. I wanted to like it, but I just could not get into it. There was a couple parts that I did like. Overall, I didn't get that Academy Award hype. It got nominated for like 12 awards, and I don't know how, in my opinion. And Scorsese had some weird Scorsese stuff, like where you see the guy and then the backdrop goes dark. And it's like this, but he's still lit. And it was like, oh, whatever. Okay, so that's me. Sorry, Eddie.
Okay, 2005. Can I just look for a second? Okay, so 2005, we had Aviator, $1 Million Baby. Okay.
Yeah, $1 Million Baby was good.
Yeah, it was real popular. I'm just trying to think of what else was going that year.
Ray.
The Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
But who were the winners?
But Ray was up there.
Ray was on there.
Yeah.
Hotel Rwanda, which was that some people liked it and some people didn't. $1 Million Baby, that was okay.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That depressed the shit out of me though. That's one of those movies I can only watch.
Okay. All right. So I'm just curious. I was just curious of what was running that year.
Yeah, $1 Million Baby. Yep.
Okay. Great cast.
Yeah.
Start with a positive. Great cast. The set design to set the era on point. So I'll give it to him for that. And as Blue said, to me, the overacting, especially when they were in those halls, wherever those were, like when you went to have dinner, and they Harold Flynn or Ray Flynn or whatever that guy's name. Errol Flynn came in there, and they came in and acting so over the top. I was like, whoa. Can you just turn your acting down to about 3 notches? Because to me, they overacted it. I'm sorry. I thought Kate Blanchett, she didn't. Do I think she deserved an award on this? No. To me, overacted. Maybe playing Katharine Hepburn. Maybe you got to play that part.
She sounded like Katharine Hepburn.
She sounded like it.
But it was like,
it just sound like it was just so much. And then when they went to her family's house, which I don't know her family, so maybe her family's like that with
Connecticut, I think.
with
they're rich.
where they're rich and they all were cutting each other off, and there was 5 conversations going on at the same time, and Howard was having a struggle with that, and he would start talking, and then they would cut him off. But the thing was that their family, it was like, even though your conversation's cut off, we're going to continue. You continue to go, and we're going to just grab you when we want. I didn't really like that. I felt like everybody.
That was rude when they cut him off, though. Like if
I
it
thought
was my family, I would have went, whoa, he's talking.
Yeah, I would have thought. Gwen Stefani.
Stefani.
Ooh, she was the best out of all of them.
I find her kind of funny looking. Maybe it's just me.
I don't know.
Gwen Stefani, a little
I
weird.
don't know.
And
I've liked her even when she was singing.
The Jean Harlow hair and the makeup too made her. I was thinking, who is that? At first, I was like, that chick's kind of homely, and then I realized it was Gwen Stefani.
Yeah, but that's the kind of good ones you make. You can make them into something. So I didn't like the, like you said about the 15-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, it was gross.
That was uncomfortable. The OCD. And for me, I didn't realize that he had owned TWA. The movie did seem long. It got to. It's one of those movies. You watch the movies. To me, if you're watching a movie and you have to click it to see how much more you've got, that's a bad sign.
Yeah.
When you watch a 2.5 hour movie and you don't have to click it and you're like, oh, that's it, we're done, 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 10 minutes. Oh, but I swear to you, like Andrew said, about halfway through, I'm like, wow, how much more we got to this? And I clicked, I'm like, holy shit, I still got over half of this to go. I'm like, okay. But trooper that I am, going on through, we're gonna make it to the end.
Yep.
I did like the flight scenes. I did like that. I thought great acting, but I thought if they would have maybe narrowed this movie down to me, it would have been a smaller movie. Got rid of some of that fluff that didn't need to really be in there. But, and get rid of some of the overacting. I thought when they were doing that raging 40s thing, it just seemed.
Even the guy singing when he was dancing, he wasn't even going to the beat. I'm like, really? Is that what it looked like back then? Because that ridiculous.
Yeah, it was very. To me, it was distracting. So,
sorry, I'm just going to interrupt and say that Alan Alda though was fantastic in this.
I thought
I hated his gut, so that proved. And I love Alan Alda. So
the cast that was in that movie was great. In Alan's position he was towards the end of the movie though.
Yep.
Things got a little bit more serious, a little slower. At the earlier part, it was just kind of, I don't know. And I was the same way when she talked about the grass was blue and they're putting. And Catherine's character, maybe that was really Catherine, the way her personality was distracting because she was so, hey baby, sure baby, let's follow through, baby. And I'm
that's the way she was.
I
don't know, man. I want to punch her in the mouth.
I like that all the time in personal life, though. I don't know about that. One of the things I did like about it is her and Spencer Tracy, how they had that like decades-long love affair. I did like when he threw her, was it an apple? And I said to Todd, we were watching it, and I said, here's hoping that's Spencer Tracy. And then sure enough, it was. And when I guess he helped, Howard Hughes helped make a couple of their original movies they were in together. I didn't realize that because remember when she goes when he's nuts and she's outside the door and she thanks him for that. Yeah. She said, Spence and I just wanted to say thank you. So it was like, ooh.
Something. All right. I'm sorry, Eddie. Eddie,
I like true stories. It's just it didn't hold my attention enough, and it could have, and it felt like it could have because he's an interesting man. Like holy crap, and I mean his relationships very interesting. Ava Gardner, and Katharine Hepburn, and having Errol Flynn there, but it was just so wow. I was like, oh, shoot me now.
All right, Eddie. I'm sorry, we've been hammering on you. So, Eddie, welcome to picking a movie, Eddie.
Eddie, this is why you always go first.
Did Roger go?
Okay.
All right.
It's
Is it
Roger.
Roger's turn?
Oh, I'm sorry, Roger. I'm sorry. Yep. Thank you.
Trying to cut me off here, Todd.
Hey, welcome to the crew. I could do it.
I got
I
to
do the best
for you, brother.
Get used to that.
Overall, I like the movie. It was a little long, and I think they spent like, I don't know. I guess that Hell's Angels took what, 3 years to make? Is that correct?
It was something like that. Yeah. I would
Yeah.
have to, yeah.
I don't see why they had to spend the first 7 hours of the movie on that part of it. But I thought it was a pretty good movie. It was a Scorsese movie, so the cinematography is going to be great. The costumes are going to be great. He's going to have big names attached to it. But I find with a lot of his movies, I think he is a very self-indulgent director. And if he thinks it's cool, it makes it in the movie. And I think he has too many yes men around him. Nobody wants to say, that part shouldn't stay there. I think he has too much sway on his editors at this point in his career, and he may in fact do his own editing. I don't know. Does anybody know?
I don't know.
It did have two of my favorite Catherines in it, so that was cool. Two, Kate Beckinsale and Kate Blanchett. I didn't find her as nearly as annoying in her role as Katharine Hepburn as everybody else did. I thought she was trying to portray the real Katharine Hepburn because
that's what I thought.
She had that halting gait to her manner of speaking, and I thought she pulled that off very well. I really did. All in all, I was kind of disappointed they didn't go over the latter parts of Howard Hughes's life, because that's the real interesting part, where he was a recluse in a hotel room, saving his pee in jars and growing his fingernails out, 12 inches long. So I thought, but had they included that part, the movie would have had to been 5 or 6 hours long. So I'm kind of glad they didn't.
Well, they did that for a little bit when he was in the studio, his little watch room.
Yeah, and I didn't know if because the last 15 years of his life, he never left his room in Nevada, in Las Vegas. He died in Nevada, and he stayed in his house for 15 years, never left his house. And supposedly, at the time of his death, his fingernails were like 5 or 6 inches long. Is
like a bag lady?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Blue.
I said like a bag lady?
Yes, like a bag lady. Absolutely. His hair hadn't been cut in decades, and so they left out a lot of material. But overall, it was an okay movie. I can't say it was bad. I can't say it was good. It was just okay for me.
All right.
That's about all I got.
What you got, Eddie?
Okay, for this, like I said last week, this movie is nostalgic a little bit for me. First, because it was I had to dedicate this movie to my sons because they worked on this movie, and they're aspiring screenwriters at the same time. They're still in the movie industry. I could have picked other movies that they worked on, but I like this one. Second, because anything to do with airplanes or engines or like that, I'm a fanatic of that. And third is because I visited the set when we were filming it. I didn't meet Martin Scorsese. I didn't meet Leonardo DiCaprio, but I met Gwen Stefani. The sets that I visited was the Coco Lounge, which was one of the main parts of the film, because there were a lot of shots in different areas of the lounge. They had the bandstand. They had the stairway. I walked up that stairway, and when I visited the set, they just finished filming the part where Leonardo DiCaprio, he was starting to eat a steak, and he left it.
Mm-hmm. That bloody steak.
The bloody steak, and then after I don't know that's the time that I went in to see the set, and my sons told me, says, "Dad, don't touch anything." because they haven't accepted the shot, because they may come back and do a reshoot. So if you move something, it could be picked up on the movie. So I'm there with my hands in my pockets, walking around. And then after he took me into the second set was his apartment. His apartment was built exactly as it was. They explained to me how they got all the equipment and everything they needed, like say the lamps, the carpets. They come from all over the world, and how they built that set, and it was a big set. And they just finished filming, I think, the day before when he was burning all his clothes in his office. That was still there. I found it long also, but I liked it because I was intrigued by the planes. First, the engines, like one of the Wasp engines was made by Pratt & Whitney. I never worked on an engine like that, but I worked for Pratt & Whitney, and that was part of their business. But I've used parts for doing inspections on that to do my tests. But that I really liked. When he started rubbing the plane, the aluminum plate with all the rivets. And he said, well, you got to countersink the rivets and then, make them as all smooth. Well, even that's today, but they don't use rivets. They use screws instead. So all these things that Leonardo DiCaprio or Howard Hughes did, they're still using today. That's what I liked it, because it's based on his life. And he had a great influence on aviation. The other thing that I found that when like I said last week, people like him, they're so intelligent that they're opening the door to, how can I say it?
Madness.
You're walking that fence. All you taste is just one little nudge. Either you stay on one side, intelligent, or you flip on the other side and you're insane. That's a perfect example of that. The other one is, if I get away from the film a little bit, is in 2003, at the same time that this film was being made, Martin Scorsese came out with an 8-hour documentary on PBS. It was called The Blues. Martin Scorsese is a maniac of the blues. If anybody listened to the end of the movie after the credits, there was a blues song on there pertaining to Howard Hughes. What happened that year was, still in 2003, my kids came over on the Father's Day in 2003, and they gave me a present. I opened up the present, and I looked at the present. I'll show you what it is. This is a compilation of a disc, okay? But my son said, Dad, look at it real good. I said, okay. So I turned it around. I know what it is. I saw it in the store. I wanted to buy it, but I didn't really want to buy it. It's Martin Scorsese, The Blues. So he said, Dad, look at it real good. To Eddie.
Signed.
Wow.
Martin Scorsese.
Wow.
Okay.
Signed to you too.
That's all.
It's signed to me. My kids bought the compilation, but he asked Martin Scorsese to sign it for me. But at the same time, Martin Scorsese said, you don't have the book. He said, if you would have had the book, I'd sign you the book. But I got the book only a little bit later. This is the book. But next time I see Martin Scorsese, he's going to sign it for me.
Yeah. Next time you see him, track his ass down.
Well, as a matter of fact, he was talking about making another movie up here in Montreal. So I don't know. He got on good with my kids. That's the only reason why. One of the main reasons why, like I said, I picked this movie is because of the hard work my sons have worked on movies.
Okay, I got a question for you then.
Yes.
All the nostalgic parts and signing parts aside, did you love this movie, or I know your
I
kids
love-
were involved in it,
I love
but
this
you
movie.
personally love it when you watched it.
Yes, I've watched it about 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
But like I said, anything pertaining to airplanes, if it would have been talking about something else, maybe I would have put a pass on it. But I put a play in it because I spent most of my life in aviation, so that's why I'm so fascinated by this movie.
See, I get that. I get liking because there's planes in it, but at the same time, it's like saying I like zombie movies, but I don't like all zombie movies. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like just because
Yeah.
there's movies in it doesn't mean it's guaranteed I'm gonna like it. So I was just curious. I mean, obviously you do, but I mean, a lot of it has to do with probably the fact that you were on set and you saw the acting and your boys worked on it.
Oh yeah, I'm proud of my boys.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
That's
I
awesome.
never realized how much when they talk about. I didn't realize how much of an impact he had on aviation until I watched this movie.
Yeah.
So that was a learning moment. I didn't realize that how much he pushed the envelope. How much he as an inventor that he pushed the limit, and I didn't realize that. So I give him that.
That's all I knew about him was that he was like a aviation crazy person. Like he was
I knew about it, I knew about Howard Hughes long time before he got popular. People were talking about him because I read about him before. Even when he was going off the deep end, I was following it all the time. What was happening? Even I think his estate has never been settled.
Right. His estate has still to this day not been settled. There were
I
several.
didn't get my name in there. I gotta get my name in there. Hold on a minute.
My name is in there.
My mom, who is a probably pretty close contemporary in age to Howard Hughes, because I'm old and she's long dead, but she was obsessed with Howard Hughes, so I did have some knowledge of him growing up.
Cool.
All right, so hey, let me go ahead and we're gonna jump over here to Sharon. Sharon, welcome to the show, back from the backstage. Hope the backstage wasn't too dusty for you.
Yeah. I watched this movie and sorry to say this was 3 hours short of forever, but I barely made it.
Wait, did you fall asleep because you fell asleep a couple weeks
You
ago?
know what? I ain't gonna lie. Full disclosure, I fell asleep within the last 30 minutes of it, but I watched practically the whole movie. It was I really felt sad for him. I really did. I felt bad for him because I knew he was very depressed. He was had anxiety. He seemed in the beginning like money was no object. He wanted something to do. He went after it. Here, I'll give you this. Blah blah blah. The movie, like I said, the movie he was making took forever to make. He was very detailed with the planes and everything. When he fell for Catherine, that was so romantic. When he took her on the plane and he let her took over driving the plane, I thought that was nice. And like you said, when he gave her the milk, when he was drinking the milk, sitting there by her, and he started drinking the milk, and then he handed it to her, even though, like you said, he was a germophobic, and then he drank it after her. I thought that was a nice gesture, because he was just head over heels for her. And I mean, the movie was it was pretty long, but I felt it was so bad for everything like he went through, like when like the time when they were on set and he saw the janitor and he felt like the janitor was just staring at him, and he couldn't talk to the guy for looking at the janitor. He was like, I want him fired. And then he started repeating the words over and over again, like a person with Tourette's. And then he went in his car and started having a breakdown and stuff. And he was good at flying the planes, like right before, like things got worse for him after that crash. When he had gotten that plane crash, and he had it crashed. And like I said, he had that big scar, and it came out and he was okay. It seemed like stuff started really kind of going downhill for him. Then he started dating that other woman that he was falling in love with, and she would never marry him. And then the other woman was running it, it ran into his car, and it was like he was a kind of like, I don't know how to put it, kind of like a beautiful mind, because he was very smart, knew what he wanted to do, but at the same time, he was so depressed and so sad. Like when he shut himself up in the room. Like when he was watching, when Catherine Hepburn first told him, but when she left him, and she told him that she had cheated on him. Then he burned up all his clothes. Then he called the guy, and he was like, "Oh, I want you to go get my clothes. I want you to buy me some clothes from JCPenney. No, I want you to go get them from Zales. No, I want you to go get them, and stuff." Then he had another breakdown. And he was in his room for days and stuff, and it was just a really sad movie, in general. It's a very long movie. And someone reminded me how long the movie was, how much longer we had to go in the movie. But however, yeah, the movie was, but it was beautiful, beautiful with the cinematography and stuff. Like when they were in the ballroom and stuff, and that was crazy. How, like you said, the guys just came over and took over the date he had with Catherine, and they sat there and ate in his plate and stuff, which was I would have been like ew too, But yeah.
And Redneck is right. I did like how he outwitted the senator, and turned that. I did like that because I was cheering for him.
Yeah, me too.
Because Alan the senator was trying to play him the whole time, just like when he brought him over and put his thumb on it to put his, and gave him raw fish, or he was. So yeah. Penn, what did you think, bud?
Yes, I thought this was a decent watch overall. The time of it, I'm not going to lie. I felt a little bit sleepy after the first hour and a half of the film. But it was one of those things where I noticed with the character Howard Hughes in the film, on the set of Hell's Angels, I felt like it was a bit overextended, but he showed, that authority. He wanted people to address him as Mr. Hughes, and that showed that he had a high value of himself. He wanted people to respect him. He wanted people to know that he was here to accomplish something and that he meant business. Now, with his workers, he was a nightmare to work with because he halted the production of his own movie to do the plane against the backdrop, and he wanted the clouds to look like a breast full of milk. So there was that. So there was that incident that was going on. So it was kind of like, hey, we have something to do here, and you're over here screwing around trying to, do this. So I thought, that was pretty entertaining part of it, but it's what the character wanted to do. His confidence was extremely high. For the fact of the matter is, just so he could see Catherine, he flew his own plane there. So he wanted to make an impression right then and there. So I'm guessing the character, he had like this high sense of confidence, but I felt sad for him as well, especially after the plane crash and with the more depression that was going on, locked himself in a room, and you could really see like the sorrow in the character's face. And he was going through the ringer, going through the motions. Even the scene at the hospital when one of the women hardly recognized him, didn't look like he shaved or bathed in weeks, and she looked terrified of him, almost like, who are you? He went from this person, who was well respected, into that scene, to that point in the movie, sort of like hit a low, an extreme low, and I very felt very bad for the character. Overall, I thought it was a decent film. It's just that I felt like the set of Hell's Angels took away from the film a bit. I like the set design, in the ballroom, was very intricate, detailed during those times. And one part of it was two guys hijacked their date, and you could see the look of expression on his face, and he didn't want to be totally disrespectful, but his energy and his attitude say like, hey, like, get the hell out of here, So
yeah.
But I thought it was a decent watch. Kids are very passionate, very driven, and I just that his work and his attitude, he became obsessed. And one of the themes in the film was he was very ambitious, and one of the things that he held dearest the most wound up being his downfall with the plane crash.
Cam, what you think, bud? Ma'am, sorry.
Yeah, all right. So this one for me was, I think, one that I enjoyed a lot more than a lot of people maybe in the panel and the side chat, because I love history. So you know, even though it was super long, it gave you a look into who Howard was. And as Sharon said earlier, it kind of did give you that Beautiful Mind vibe as well, because he knew what he wanted to do, but what he's been through, what he had been through, and what and so forth, and he was like, you know what, his mind wasn't there anymore. Like, um, you know, when you try to be so good at something, it can change your mindset, and your determination can, at the end of the day, be your downfall. Um, for me, it also showed that Leo was kind of, at this point, it showed me that Leo was gonna be a very flexible actor. Like, you'd seen him in Catch Me If You Can, and you saw kind of an energetic guy, and so forth and so forth. But now you'd see both the energetic guy and the guy who we wouldn't want to be at the end of the movie, when he was by himself, when he was by himself in his room, and he wasn't taking care of himself hygienically or anything like that. For me, like Penn said, it was a decent film. The cinematography was fantastic. Um, how they, like, kind of um, took you back into a time period, into a decade of elegance and stature, was really good. But and there are also some parts where actors and actresses kind of, yeah, like you said earlier, overacted. But the movie as a whole was pretty decent, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Awesome. All right. So did I hit everybody?
Yep, we're all good.
Okay, so people on the side chat, player pass on this movie, because I say that I don't want to be being rude. One thing, I was looking at the trivia on it. It said that this costumes, they budgeted $2 million for the costumes, and I'm trying to find. I don't, since I'm not an IMDb pro. Babe, are you an IMDb pro?
Yeah, I think so.
So the movie grossed over $100 million. I'm wondering how much did they really spend, and how much did they make on this movie? The budget for costumes was $2 million.
I think Box Office Mojo gives you better production budgets.
Okay. It's just, I'm just curious. I'm just curious on.
Yep. Are we gonna go through?
We'll go through. So people in the side chat put player pass, and we'll start at Cam. Player pass on.
This one for me is, honestly, like, yet again, I like to do things that, like, you have some cinematography movies that are fantastic, but the script is lacking. And for me, honestly, this was one of those movies. So for me, it's a soft play.
Okay, play. All right. What about you, Penn?
For me, I would say it was a play. Like, I pay attention, to the detail, the sets. Like I said, the ballroom, the set design was masterfully done. Even though parts of the film, that I felt was lacking with the main character, the design aspect of it made up for it, in my opinion. So it would be a play for me.
All right, good enough. Sharon, what do you think? Play or pass?
Soft play.
Soft play. Okay. Andrew.
I agree with the cinematography was good. The way that showed all the character, like the I can't get the words out. Where the paid homage to, like, the era, and the got all the details right with the era of when it took place. That was all great and good, and the story had really good potential, but I just think they overstretched it, and they added too much filler, and I kind of got lost halfway through before it dragged us back in right at the very end. But I think if I didn't have to watch it till the very end, I think by the time I got halfway through, I would have stopped. So I'm going to have to say sorry, Eddie, but it's a pass from me.
Okay. All right. Pass. Roger, player pass.
Well, first I looked up the budget on this one. It was $110 million. So if it only made $100 million at the box office, that's not so great.
Well, I did say that Martin Scorsese, what was it? Martin Scorsese.
You're having difficulty with people's names today, eh?
I'm down to 5. I'm at 5 beers, so I'm starting to feel pretty good.
You had
So
5 beers?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 5 beers already, and
The big question is, how many beers did you have watching the movie?
Oh, none. I couldn't have took it.
Okay,
So I'm sorry, Roger. Sorry, Roger.
Well, I think if you get up on a Saturday afternoon about 1 o'clock in the afternoon and start watching this movie, it's a definite play. But if it's dark outside, pass it.
Okay. So all right. So we have 2 more. Redneck and Dalton put 2 more plays. So did you say so? So
Soft
Roger,
play.
soft play. All right.
play.
So I'm gonna put you for play. Okay. Eddie, what did you think, bud?
It's definitely a play. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, bud.
Is it so far? Is this the longest movie we've played so far on?
I don't think
Player
so.
Pass?
The longest feeling movie.
The longest feeling.
I think we've watched a couple that were.
I don't know. Hey, on week 20, episode 20, we'll be able to look at some of that stuff. So longest movie.
I believe
So
it
that
was
hey, next
3
week,
hours.
next week, that's going to be one of our topics, the longest movie. All right. So that's
Okay,
episode 20. All right.
Okay,
So
it's a
go
play
ahead.
for me.
Play for you. Alvin.
Okay, it's a play for me, like I said before, because of all the actors that were in it, the set design, cinematography. I liked all that. I don't think I could watch it again, but I promise you I will find something to watch more about Hughes to learn more about his life.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Like-
you're going to find something for us to watch that's longer than that.
Oh no, I wouldn't do that to you.
Is they got another Howard the Duck coming?
I have no problem with long movies. Like I said, Lord of the Rings extended version. Those things are like
Yeah.
4 hours long per movie. I
Yeah.
got no problem with that. But yeah, when like Todd said, when you're
keep the story
pausing it
together.
farther.
Blue. Player pass.
Okay, I'm a pass. Just to clarify, I love biopics. I love biographies. I love history. I love seeing a person's real life in movie. But that doesn't necessarily mean I automatically I'm going to like it. Like I feel, but you want to go, well, it's a true story. Yeah, that's cool. But I think maybe somebody else could have made this and made it better. Could have made it less draggy. Could have had the actors go, hey, tone it down a little bit. It's a little much. So for me, it's a pass. I wanted to love it. I like everybody that's in it. I like the director, but I just felt like it was a little woo for me. I don't know. Does that make sense though? Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's great. I liked learning about Howard Hughes. I thought that was cool. I loved there were certain aspects of it, but not enough for me to ever watch it again. Or recommend it.
DiCaprio was good. I will say that.
Yeah, he was fine. He was good, sure, but it was like everything else took away from that for me. For me, anyway.
All right. So if I put the good in this hand and the bad in this hand of this movie, I'm sorry. There's too much bad that overshadowed the good. There was good points to the movie as we've talked about that, but for me, the bad parts just outweighed the good. I did like the part about learning. I felt like I learned about Howard Hughes. I felt, or Hugh Hefner, whoever it was. I felt like I learned. I felt like I learned about it, but it just didn't do it for me. So, but I will say, Eddie,
I think I would have rather saw like a biography, an actual biography on him. You know what I mean? I would rather see that. I think because I would love to learn about all the planes and all, like more intricate than that way.
Well, I'll give it this. All right. So out of all the comments, Eddie, that was made through this whole episode or this part of the show, you have 11 people that said that they would give it a play and only 3 passes.
So, in other words, you're
actually,
kicking
that's
Nancy
better
down.
than a lot of some of the other movies that we've done.
So you're beating Andrew, just so you know.
So, no, it's and hey, I did like the Peaches comment. The
Yeah.
number 13, the number
23.
23 felt 23 times longer.
Anyway.
Slow down my talking. All right.
Yeah.
Well, after my
The beach.
after
Likes to dig out my picks, doesn't he?
he loves you. All right, go. I'm sorry, Eddie.
My kids are going to watch this later on.
Oh boy.
They'll give me their critics, and I'll let you know what it is like next week.
Yeah. I mean, there was things that we liked and things we didn't like.
Yeah. I didn't hate it. I just didn't. I didn't love it. Like I was like, yeah, it was okay.
What did your kids do on the movie again?
Well, this is one of the early movies they worked on. They were what you call set dressers.
Oh, okay. All right.
They dress the sets. Now they're working on. They've moved up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now they're in special effects.
Eddie.
Yes.
Just to clarify, set design was beautiful.
Yo, I said set design and cast was high on my list.
Well, they talked to me about how they set up the apartment for Howard Hughes,
mm-hmm.
and now meticulous. They worked on that to make it. But when I visited that set, when you walk within the walls of that set, you're like, it empowers you.
Yeah.
But when you walk away from it and you see like it's only a set, it just like blew me away.
Okay, so we need a new rule that you can no longer pick movies that your kids have been involved in. And that you because everybody else feels bad for
I have a whole list.
Don't feel guilty that we're damn knocking on a movie that your kids worked on. Not that I'm still sticking with my pass on that.
Okay.
Yeah, great. So thanks, Eddie.
They didn't direct it.
No.
That's the screenwriting. So maybe next time I'll pick a movie that has already done the screenwriting of.
Oh God!
No, you're gonna put the pressure on us.
No,
Don't tell us it.
Eddie,
we gotta be honest.
So
yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
I'm in a different country. I'll just never pass what's gonna happen.
Okay, so next week we are just gonna discuss our favorite movies and our least favorite movies out of all the ones we've had on the show. Now, Todd, you put them in the show notes, right?
I have them in the no, I do not have them in the show notes
yet.
because you sent them to me later.
Okay, so this is what I'm thinking. Obviously, if you remember things perfectly, don't worry about it. But if you have like two where you're not sure which you like better, rewatch them. That'll be the what we're gonna do this week. Rewatch your two top favorites because you already know which one you hate the most. You don't need to rewatch the hated ones. God knows nobody wants to go through that. But we're going to have an honorary movie as well. And that is going to be Black Panther. Yeah, in memory of Chadwick Boseman because he was fucking awesome. And I still can't believe he made 7 movies while he was battling cancer. Like, holy shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
And Todd,
I didn't even realize he had cancer.
Not bringing it up.
No, I don't think anybody. I don't think many people did.
Nobody knew, except his family, obviously.
So we have to watch Black Panther, or everyone needs to watch it.
It's an honorary mention. So if you don't, it's not the end of the world. But I'm definitely watching it. So.
Okay.
I've seen it probably already.
So some of the topics.
Make me watch all the Marvels.
You know, the thing with Chadwick is that I still like I didn't see 42 or I didn't see some of his other stuff, but I remember him in Captain America: Civil War, and there was the very first time you see him, he's looking out the window of this big building, and Black Widow walks up behind him to talk to him, and he turns around and there was something about this guy. I instantly liked him. I instantly was like, oh yeah. There was something sexy, something confident. I liked him within the first 5 minutes that I saw him in Civil War. So when they made an actual Black Panther movie too, it was like, oh shit, this guy's awesome.
I've seen 42 and I've seen when he made James Brown, and both of them I really loved them.
Yeah.
Well, and I saw him in a movie which was a bad movie, and it's not his fault, but that stupid one, Gods of Egypt. But he had a British accent in it, and his accent was like fucking perfect. Like the kid was friggin' talented. Like, holy crap. Well, I guess
Anybody
not.
seen the movie 13 Bridges?
13 Bridges?
Is that him?
You mean
I
21
haven't seen
Bridges?
that yet.
He played in 21
21
Bridges.
Yeah.
21 Bridges.
Yeah,
That's a very good movie.
Yeah.
Is that Clint Eastwood? Clint Eastwood in that one?
Or we could rewatch The Five Bloods.
Yeah, The Five Bloods. I didn't mind him in
Yeah,
it,
he
though.
played
He's
in it.
one of the only people that didn't annoy me in it.
All right, so I'm thinking on some of the topics that I wrote down here, and I'm just kind of brainstorming. Best movie, worst movie, longest movies. We talked about Black Panther. Movie that you liked but you didn't expect. Movie that you loved back in the day but didn't hold up.
Yeah.
Some other topics.
That's a great idea.
Are you
Some
going
other
to put those out for us to think
Faculty right
about?
there, in a nutshell.
Huh?
You're going to put those on the show notes also?
Well,
I'll put them. Yeah, I'll put them on the show notes for episode 20. So I'll try to make that today. I'll try to make that today or tomorrow, so that I get it out there so we can see the show notes. But I'm thinking of other topics that we might want to hit on.
Okay. And Todd, just next week is that, and then the week after though it's going to be Cam and I.
Oh, Cam, you better buckle up there.
I got a whole list now.
Please, don't even look worried. Luke, she ain't even worried. She ain't even worried about it. She like this.
I got a whole list.
All right. So, any other topics you think that we might want to mention next week?
The funniest movie?
Funniest? Okay.
The one that made you cry?
Made you cry?
Jesus, we're going to have an 8-hour-long show if everybody gets to
No.
talk.
No, because we're just going to say, you know,
I don't
what
think
where
because
to
it's not like with now you talk about show for 15
funniest
minutes.
movie, My Sassy Girl. But what I thought was funny about it is, and 4 hours later, you watch.
Well, I'm just trying to think of some topics, and we get to them all. We get to them all. Well, and this is going to be because this is going to be episode 20. We're going to revisit a lot of the movies that we've talked about. And so what do we have? Will it be 19 times 2, which is 38 plus 1. So 39 movies. 39 movies. And we did I post that in the Player Pass? I think I did post that in Player Pass image. Yeah. So you're able to see it. I will actually add that to the show notes for next week's, which I will try to make tonight. We'll see how many more beers I have before the end of the night. Because I still have, you know what? Because I don't give. You know what those are?
$2?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, right. I pinned it so everybody can see what all the movies are.
And if you have Trakt, I think on this show I actually posted the link to her Trakt account.
Yeah,
you add Trakt to. If you add her list to your Trakt account, you'll see every movie. You'll be able to see them all, and it makes it really easy. Look at Redneck says we can rewatch The Faculty. Boy, he loves it.
That's funny. That would definitely be one you thought was great back in the day.
Yeah. Well, we don't know. I mean, we got a lot of movies to look at there.
I loved that movie, though. Like, I loved it back in the day. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was kind of excited when Andrew's like, The Faculty. They're like, woo-hoo!
But Todd, let's say after we've reviewed all the 20 movies next week, are we still going to keep those 20 movies on our list?
I think that they should stay there.
Yeah? And so next time we got to talk
because
about
this way people can always go back and look at that list and say, okay, unless you change the list to Pop List 1, Pop List 2. But
I mean, do you think that they still stay? So someone would have to top one of those movies? It's in the archive, you know? It's like a record.
In the archive. So someone knows that we already picked that movie. We know we got the list to look back at.
We're going to keep the list.
This is season 1.
I'll keep the track list.
Season 1. I like that.
I think when it comes down to best and worst, like that kind of stuff that we're talking about, we should do every 20 weeks. And then maybe when we're kind of, maybe if we hit 100, then we combine them all.
Then you can combine them all.
Your
fair enough.
Yeah. Well, we got time. We got time.
Season 1 finale next week.
40 movies. Then
Season 1 finales next week. So everyone join in. Oh, look at there. That's one of my movies. Thank you, Jim. Yep. Hey, it's good to have control. One of the other things I wish that StreamYard would offer, and that would be that I would be able to give the option to be an admin to some of the other panel members so that they could pull up stuff. And that's one thing that they don't give you. That's you know what I mean? Where say if I was doing something else and I would say, "Hey Andrew, handle the show while I'm away." And you could pull up chats or do whatever, and they don't. That's one thing they don't have.
I would just immediately kick you from the show.
Well, I have the link. I would come back. I'm like herpes. I'm always going to come back. All right.
Can't you ban people?
So some of the younger people are like, "What? Herpes? What?" All right. So I think we're close to 2 hours, so we're going to roll up. Yeah. Cam, anything you want to say before we roll out of here?
Yeah. Everybody, thank you guys for coming through and having fun. I'm glad to be back. I actually had time off from the office today, so thought I'd make my return to come back and have fun with you guys. As I always say, every single show that I'm on, we wouldn't have a show without you guys. And to get on the show, it's simple. Either you watch the movies and then you either tell us if you like them or you don't like them, and we just have fun. And that's why I like coming over here and having fun with you guys. Catch us next week, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you. I missed you too, honey.
I missed you too.
All right, Mr. Penn, anything you want to finish up the show with?
Yes, I appreciate everybody for coming through and supporting the Pass the Play episode with the package and the Aviator. Thank you for opening up the platform, the Butcher, and everybody on the panel. Appreciate everybody. Yeah, and tune in to the movies, guys. See if you can find some time and watch some films and eventually hop on a panel and discuss your opinions. All right, so till next time, peace out.
Thank you, Penn. Miss Sharon.
Thank you for having me again. We appreciate coming out and enjoying the movies. And if you get a chance every week, watch the movies so you can come on the panel and tell them how you like the movies, or if you didn't like the movie and why you didn't like the movie.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, hon. Andrew?
Yeah, just like what everyone else has said. Thanks for tuning in. And I notice every week that there's a few extra people coming in the chat, and it's nice to see. And it's nice to see the regulars all the time, and it's nice to have new people jump in on the panel and discuss stuff and give different movies, which is, I suppose, is a good thing considering nobody seems to like anything I pick. So
that's true. I like.
See you next week.
Redneck is rewatching the faculty.
Andrew's movie is not the worst movie I've ever seen in my list. Just so we know.
I'll rewatch the number 23.
Sharon, sit down. All right, Roger.
Well, we're already sure Sharon's picking the number 23 as best movie.
Yeah.
And thanks for the panel for having me on. Thanks for letting me pick a movie. I had a lot of fun. So now I guess I go back to watching obscure comedies so I can find my next one for you guys to look at. All right. That's it. Peace out. Watch Tales from the Loop.
I have.
It's great, isn't it? Albert?
Yeah, it's good.
All right. Hey, we'll talk about that in the after show. Eddie.
Thanks for letting me show my nostalgia on your show. And it was a good show. Yep. I'm proud of my boys.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Hey, nothing against your boys, honey. It has nothing to do with
nothing against them. No.
It has to do with Kate Blanchett. Jude Law, the ones that were like, I'm like,
Alban, what did you guys say, bud?
Thanks for everyone coming out like usual. Hope to see you guys on next week. Don't forget, Friday we're here to see Dabs. Two great movies this week, really. Eddie you know, I know a lot of people didn't like the movie, but we all still watched it. And,
Well, I think most people like it.
right, most
Yeah.
people did like it. Yeah, so I know I did. And Roger, you know, you really cracked me up. You did. You know, I still can't get over that. Hope to see everyone next week. There you go, Blue.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out, guys. See you Friday for Dad's show. Usually he has co-host. God only knows who that is. We'll see you
Whoever
then.
shows up.
Yeah, whatever.
That all you done?
That's it.
All right. Well, I do want to say one thanks to Shrink and Sharon, Penn, and Cam, who are part of the MS7 group. They all have YouTube channels, so I would say click on them, do a search for them. I don't have their links, but look for them on YouTube. All of them do different material, different videos. Check them out.
Can I
Yeah.
interrupt for 1
Yep,
second?
yep.
And is it pronounced Penn?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. All right. Well, good. I pronounced one name right.
And I wanted to just make sure that he's saying it right, and that you're not just being polite and not correcting him.
Thank you, babe. Thank you, babe. So, yeah, check all of them out. They're part of the MS7 group. They have plenty of videos. Each of them had their own style. You're not going to have the same thing for each one of them. Each one of them has their own style of videos, things that got content. So do a search for each one of them, and they have great content. So I thank them for joining the panel. I also want to thank Eddie and I want to thank Roger for people that were just watching on the side, just like you guys might be. Never been on YouTube, just watching from the side. You're watching YouTube videos. They got the courage to jump on here. That's what this show is supposed to be about. Open the door to just normal people to come on. Tell us if you like it or didn't like it and why. You don't have to be a movie critic. I'm not a movie critic, but I can tell you what I didn't like and I can tell you what I did like. That's all we're asking for. So that's all we're asking for. And I want to thank Eddie and Roger for getting the courage for you guys to jump on. Eddie, props to your sons for doing the movies and being part of them. No personal jabs. If I didn't like the movie that they worked on, hey, they worked on the movie. There's things I liked about it, things I didn't like about it.
Hey, Todd, could I
yes,
post,
sir. Yep.
Could I post I'm going to post on Telegram. They have a site on IMDb.
Okay.
And it shows you all the movies, but they haven't updated the site in a while. But it'll show you the movies they worked on, and there's some good movies in there. But they're still on my list.
Yeah, well, of course. They're your damn sons.
That's right.
I don't care what your kids work on. You're going to love it. So I'll put that in the show notes. You send that link to me. I will definitely, or if it's in Player Pass, I will add that to the show notes. And I just want to thank everybody that the regular panel that's on here. Sometimes it's a pain to watch, to find the time to carve out to watch movies each week, because all of us are busy. We're doing stuff, and it's like trying to find time I got to watch the movies and I got to pay attention to the movies. You can't just have it playing in the background while you're screwing on your laptop or your computer or your phone. You're having to actually pay attention to. And I want to thank all the panel that actually spend the time watching the movie. And I want to thank everyone that's on the side panel. I will ask one thing of you guys this week. Share, like, subscribe. You guys are all, most of the people that are on the chat are all subscribed to me. But share the link for week 20. Let's try to bring in some people that have never seen us talking, bullshitting, and having fun, because that's what the show's about. Alban, a perfect example of someone that has never been on a YouTube show, and now his ass is here every damn week. I can't do a show without him being on the show. I mean,
we can't get rid of him. We've been trying.
I tried to do
I can't hear you. What?
What?
Hey,
I could go. Next week I'll go back to my old setup. I'll do that for you. I'll let you hear the plane.
No, please. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear a laptop fan. But hey, again, a guy that was just somebody watching YouTube videos and said, you know what, I'm gonna jump on the panel, and he was our first brave person that jumped on and said, I'm gonna come on, and was articulate and said, I got some ideas, and that was what this was about. And
I said, you know what, this is the best place to platform all my T-shirts.
Oh my gosh! And I don't know where he's getting all these T-shirts. Whatever, but his T-shirts. I don't know how the hell I used to think I had some good shirts, but now I'm kind of like, no, don't worry about my shirt. Yeah, just worry about
Mothers
it.
pick up their children out of the street when I start coming. Okay.
So good times. So watch episode 20 next week, which will be a review of all of our movies we've talked about, and we're just gonna have fun. This is gonna be a bullshit week. We'll just talk about whatever, except for Black Panther, which we're asking everybody to watch. So thanks for everyone watching, and Friday will be Streaming Matters. I hope to have a special guest. He's put off 3 weeks in a row. Maybe he'll show up. And we know Blue will be there because I force her. Are you going to be there? You going to be there, Mr. Andrew? You going to jump on the panel with us? No.
Come on.
So, but we'll talk about tech stuff then. This is about movies. We'll talk about techie shit. All right, we'll talk about tech stuff and Cody and streaming and all that kind of stuff then. But I just want to thank everyone for watching. Thank everyone on the panel. And thank everyone that's been part of it. And we'll see you on the next time. Play or pass. That's what we're talking about.